the son of a legend with Tiger watching from the ropes. Charlie Woods walked onto the first tee at Eagle Trace Golf Club in Coral Springs, Florida, not just as a young golfer, but as a name the entire golf world already knew. But this wasn't about hype. This was about proving something real. This wasn't just a tournament, it was a test of legacy. The U.S. Junior Amateur Qualifier isn't just a junior event, it's where reputations are forged or forgotten. Out of dozens of elite young players, only a handful would walk away with a ticket to Dallas this summer. And Charlie? He had everything to lose, and even more to prove. Every swing he took carried the weight of his last name. At just 16 years old, Charlie Woods isn't playing under the radar. Not when your dad is arguably the greatest to ever hold a golf club. Cameras clicked with every backswing, fans whispered with every missed fairway, and above all, his father, Tiger Woods, watching from just feet away. Tiger wasn't just in the gallery, he was in the pressure. This was more than golf. This was identity. Would Charlie crumble under the suffocating pressure or rise into the spotlight just like his father once did? This wasn't about talent, it was about heart. Eagle Trace was quiet that day, not the silence of indifference, the silence of anticipation. Every player wanted it, but only one had the golf world holding its breath. You could hear the expectations echo off the fairways. Charlie's swing looked smooth, calm, controlled, but every tee box felt like a final exam. He wasn't just playing golf, he was writing his own name, and with each hole the tension grew. Would he qualify? Would he choke? One misstep and the whispers would turn to judgment. But as the round began to unfold, something started to shift, and it caught everyone off guard. Charlie Woods didn't shoot the lowest score of the day. He didn't make the most birdies. He didn't dominate the field. But somehow his round, the quiet, calculated 1 under 71, was the one everyone was talking about. It wasn't flashy, it was fearless. From the very first hole, you could tell he wasn't chasing highlights. He was chasing a number, one that would get him to Dallas. This wasn't about making a statement, it was about making the cut. He wasn't out to impress. He was out to survive. On the back nine, things got tense. That's where boys become contenders. Charlie's birdie on 14, clinical. No fist pump, no roar, just business. That one birdie changed everything. And then, the stumble. A bogey late in the round. It could have ruined everything. It didn't. He made a mistake and didn't flinch. That's what stood out. Not that he avoided pressure, but that he walked straight through it. You could tell, wrote AmateurGolf.com, he wasn't playing like a junior anymore. This wasn't talent, it was tournament IQ. Remember, last year at Oakland Hills, Charlie missed the cut. Badly. The headlines were harsh, the comments worse, but he came back. Smarter, calmer, colder. This wasn't a comeback. It was a lesson learned. He didn't need a miracle. He needed margin, and that's what the 71 gave him. Just enough to tie for 5th, just enough to sneak into a playoff. Golf isn't about domination, it's about decisions. And Charlie Woods made every single one of them count. The real flex? He didn't try to be perfect. He just played smart, and in doing so, he set the stage for something even more dramatic, something no one saw coming. Just when it looked like the dust had settled, the leaderboard said otherwise. Charlie Woods wasn't alone at 5th. Two other players, Oscar Crowe and Matthew Morigliano, had also finished at 1 under. And with only 5 qualifying spots available, the message was clear. 3 names, 1 spot, no second chances. It wasn't just another hole, it was the hole. A playoff that would decide everything, and months of training, a shot at glory in Dallas, and possibly the biggest step in Charlie's career so far. You could feel it before you saw it. This wasn't just pressure, it was legacy on the line. Most 16-year-olds might freeze in that moment. Charlie didn't. With the sun dropping low over Coral Springs, the playoff began. It wasn't loud, it was tense. This was a whisper kind of moment, too important to scream through. Oscar took his shot. Clean but cautious. Matthew followed. Solid but unremarkable. Then came Charlie. His face was calm, but his swing was something else. He didn't just hit a shot, so he sent a message. He landed it clean, right where it needed to be. No theatrics, no misfires, just ice in his veins. The crowd didn't erupt. They froze, watching something rare. It wasn't flashy. It was final. Charlie Woods had won the playoff. In 1 hole, he earned the final qualifying spot for the U.S. Junior Amateur Championship. That wasn't luck. That was a controlled explosion under pressure. Let's be clear. He didn't sneak into this championship. He claimed it. Winners don't wait for permission. They take the moment. And just like that, the kid with the famous last name wasn't just a storyline anymore. He went from Tiger's son to Charlie Woods in one swing. And standing just off the green, Tiger saw it all. There are moments in sports when the atmosphere shifts, not because of what's happening on the course, but because of who's watching. And on that day at Eagle Trace, Tiger Woods was watching his son play for everything. When Tiger shows up, it's not casual. It's historic. He wasn't there for show. No entourage, no fanfare, just quiet focus. Eyes locked in, arms folded. Every parent feels pressure when their child competes, but when you're Tiger Woods, that pressure cuts both ways. He wasn't just watching around, he was watching his legacy unfold. And Charlie knew it. Of course he did. How could he not? Every shot was a whisper to the man who changed golf forever. This wasn't the first time Tiger had been at Charlie's tournaments, but this one felt different. It wasn't an exhibition, it wasn't a father-son scramble. This was real. This was qualifying for the most elite junior event in the country. This wasn't a Woods duo. This was Charlie's proving ground. And yet Tiger wasn't distant. He's spoken before about giving Charlie space to grow, saying, "I'm supporting him in the background. I'm not that loud parent you hear over the rope." But make no mistake, he was locked in. Tiger didn't need to say a word. His presence said everything. There was a look after Charlie sank his playoff shot, just a subtle nod from Tiger. You could miss it if you blinked. But it meant everything. That was the moment. No cameras, no words. Just legacy recognizing legacy. And you have to wonder, was that the moment Tiger realized Charlie really had it? No interviews, no outbursts, just a quiet walk back to the clubhouse, side by side. The son just made the cut, and the father just witnessed history. Charlie Woods didn't just qualify for a tournament, he ignited something. Between July 21st and 26th, he'll tee it up at Trinity Forest in Dallas, home of the 2025 U.S. Junior Amateur Championship, the biggest junior event in the country. But this isn't about a junior title anymore, it's about momentum. Just weeks before that playoff, Charlie shocked the junior circuit by winning the Team TaylorMade Invitational, his first major junior title. That wasn't a fluke, that was a sign. And now, the whispers are getting louder. Golf insiders aren't asking if Charlie will break through, they're asking when. He's no longer just a name on a leaderboard, he's a headline, a topic on Golf Channel, a bullet point on PGA Tour rundowns. The hype train isn't coming, it already left the station. Trinity Forest is no joke. Fast greens, rolling fairways, the kind of course that exposes your flaws or crowns your future. And everyone will be watching, not just for birdies, but for poise. We're not looking for shots, we're looking for signs of greatness, and that's the thing. He's still just 16. The pressure should be too much. The spotlight should blind him. But it doesn't. He's not shrinking under the weight of his last name, as he's growing into it. Some say it's too early to talk about pro golf. Others aren't so sure, because if Charlie shines in Dallas, doors open fast. One breakout run, and sponsors will be lining up. So will history. Tiger was once the future. Now he's watching it walk behind him. What we're witnessing might not be a moment. It might be the start of an era. And now the world sees it too. He's no longer just Tiger's son. After this, he's Charlie Woods. Made Invitational ranked 604th, barely a blip on the radar, and walked out a champion, leaving behind a trail of stunned top-ranked amateurs who never saw it coming. The numbers don't lie. 15 under par, a closing round of 66, 8 birdies, a 3-stroke win over some of the best junior golfers in the country. Charlie didn't scrape by with a lucky bounce or a fluke round. He dominated. The same kid who was once known simply as Tiger's son just made sure the world remembers his own name. Make no mistake, this wasn't just another junior tournament. This was the AJGA's elite field. Players like Miles Russell, the current #1 junior in the nation, were there. Charlie didn't just beat them, he outclassed them. Every swing, every hole, every pressure-packed moment in that final round at Streamong Resort, he looked like he belonged. No, scratch that. He looked like he owned it. What makes this even more surreal is the timing. While Tiger Woods continues to recover from injury and fade further from the competitive spotlight, his son just lit up the leaderboard and flipped the script. Suddenly, it's not about legacy, it's about arrival. So here's the question everyone's now asking. Was this just a breakout performance? Or did we just witness the next chapter in golf history begin, live at age 16? One thing's for sure, the golf world just got a lot more interesting, and if you weren't watching Charlie Woods before, you're definitely watching now. For years, Charlie Woods has been more of a curiosity than a contender. The son of a legend, he was introduced to the world not with a trophy in hand, but standing beside Tiger Woods at the PNC Championship, mirroring his dad's mannerisms and swing like a carbon copy. Every golf fan saw the potential, the swing, the poise, the pedigree. But potential only goes so far when you're constantly measured against the most iconic figure in the sport's history. Charlie didn't just carry his own bag, he carried a name that weighed more than any trophy ever could. The pressure was relentless. Every time he teed it up, the headlines came first, followed by the cameras, then the expectations. Golf fans wanted to believe. The media built the narrative. But beneath all that noise was a kid still finding his footing. In 5 AJGA events prior to Streamong, his best finish was a modest tie for 25th. That's not headline material. That's not living up to the hype. And for some, it was proof that maybe the spotlight had come too early. But Charlie never asked for the spotlight. He never had to. What he did ask for, quietly, with every round and every swing, was time. And now, after delivering the biggest win of his young career, it's clear, time well spent. This wasn't a fluke. This wasn't a kid riding his dad's coattails. This was Charlie Woods arriving on his own terms, in his own voice, with a performance that shattered expectations and rewrote his story. When he entered the AJGA Team TaylorMade Invitational, he was ranked 604th. ESPN noted that the field included 4 of the top 5 players in the AJGA rankings. This wasn't a soft draw. This was as stacked as junior golf gets, and Charlie rose to the moment. Golf Digest says his ranking is about to leap, and you better believe it's going to skyrocket. Charlie Woods is no longer just a familiar last name. He's not a viral swing on social media. He's not just Tiger's son. He's a title contender. And this win didn't just silence the doubters, it made everyone start asking the same question. How far can this kid go? What Charlie Woods did at Streamong wasn't just a win, it was a dismantling. In a field loaded with the best young talent in junior golf, he didn't just hold his own, he outthought, outfought, and outright outplayed them. This wasn't about one lucky round or catching fire on the back nine. This was a 54-hole statement, loud, clear, and impossible to ignore. From the very start of the final round, the momentum was all his. According to Reuters, Charlie surged on the front nine with a blistering stretch of 4 birdies in 5 holes, flipping a one-shot deficit into a commanding lead. Every time someone in the field made a push, Charlie answered, cool, calm, and calculated. And that's the thing. At 16, with the pressure of the Woods name and the spotlight, the cameras, and a leaderboard stacked with elite competition, he never blinked. The field wasn't soft either. NBC Sports called it one of the strongest AJGA lineups this season, and rightly so. The #1 junior in the country, Miles Russell, was in it. Luke Colton, ranked 5th, was right there too. But when the dust settled, Charlie Woods had beaten them all by 7 shots over Russell. 7. That's not a win. That's a clinic. There's something different about the way Charlie did it, the body language, the rhythm, the choices under pressure. It's not just raw talent, it looks like something more. A maturity that most players don't find until college or even the pro tour. And maybe that's what's most unsettling for the rest of the field. Because this didn't look like a one-off moment. This looked like the beginning of something much, much bigger. Golf Digest wasn't subtle about what this means for the rankings. Charlie's going to leap hundreds of spots, but rankings don't capture presence. They don't measure fear, and after this tournament, every top junior in the country knows exactly who Charlie Woods is, and they know that when he's in the field, they're playing for second. So now, the question everyone's quietly asking becomes a little louder. Is this just a breakout, or did we just witness the start of early greatness? There's something about the way Charlie Woods moves around a golf course that makes you stop and pay attention. It's not flashy, it's not loud, but it's precise, deliberate, calm, cool, and calculated. That's how he dismantled a field of top-tier juniors at Streamong, and that's what has everyone talking. Because talent alone doesn't win against elite competition. You need control, you need strategy, and at just 16, Charlie already has both. What separates him isn't just the swing, which is already one of the most technically clean motions in junior golf, it's how he thinks, how he walks into pressure and never seems rattled. His ability to manage risk, stay in rhythm, and make the smart choice instead of the showy one. Streamong Resort isn't a forgiving layout. You can't fake your way around that course. And yet Charlie didn't just survive it. He managed it like someone twice his age, plotting his way through tricky greens and demanding tee shots like a seasoned pro. Yes, Tiger's influence is impossible to ignore. The footwork, the mental approach, the obsession with preparation, it's all there, but this week proved that Charlie isn't just a product of elite coaching. He's building something on his own. Even Tiger said it himself in a comment shared by the New York Post. Charlie is forging his own path, and that's exactly what it looked like. Under pressure, with the eyes of the golf world watching and elite players breathing down his neck, Charlie didn't rely on his name. He relied on his nerve. That's what made the difference. He didn't try to be Tiger. He didn't have to. What he showed at Streamong wasn't inherited. It was earned. And if this is what calm and composed looks like at 16, just imagine what's coming next. So, now that the dust is settled and Charlie Woods is standing with his first AJGA title in hand, one question is echoing across the golf world. What's next? Is this the start of a new era? One where the name Woods once again becomes synonymous with dominance, but this time from a new generation? At just 16, Charlie now finds himself at a crossroads paved with endless possibilities. More AJGA titles seem almost inevitable. College golf programs are likely lining up with offers, and with this kind of performance, PGA Tour qualifiers are no longer some distant dream. They're a real, tangible option. He just proved he can not only hang with the best in his age group, he can leave them behind. So what happens when he gets a shot at the next level? There's buzz now, not hype, real buzz. And the scary part? This could still just be the beginning. He's still learning, still growing, still building the mental muscle it takes to win consistently.